Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you all for being here. I want to follow the prompting that I'm getting and the guidance I'm getting as we are now learning active and expressive way in which we can intercede for others from Lord Melchizedek. I was reminded of this. With great power comes great responsibility. We have to have an ethical and moral code of conduct to behave in a manner that's becoming of a being that's righteous, and more importantly, that we don't interfere with other people's karma and we don't take the karma of others as well. It's important for us to know that we're here to support, and whatever intercession that we do, whether it's the remote healing or whether it is the beyond time and space where we manifest outward a group and collective healing, we are there to facilitate an acceleration for the planet to reconcile. It is not up to us to take the burden and the karma of others, like many erroneously teachers and gurus are saying that they are doing. My experience with the real, true, authentic teachers from India and from other places, that's not what they do. They accelerate and facilitate a way for you to reconcile the karma yourself. If you're in danger, they will protect you, but aside from that, they figure out a way to facilitate an acceleration in your own personal growth and reconciliation, because the lesson is yours. And if they intercede and move to take the lesson away from you, what they do immediately is that they cheat you and they take the karma upon themselves. And we are all supposed to ascend and become God and goddesses. In previous cycles, eons, like age of Pisces, age of Aries, age of Gemini, other ages, it may have been partly true, but it is not true in the age of Aquarius, where all men and women are supposed to become God and goddesses on their own. We have to find, and in fact, if you find a teacher that's not giving you a means for you to learn and to grow and to evolve and to reconcile, who wants blind obedience to them and everything is on them and on them, something is wrong. It's not the right path for you. You need to find a path that will teach you how to stand on your own 2 feet and how to learn the nuances, so that when you have an insight in what do you need to do to reconcile and become more neutral. Because after all, it is the Melchizedek order of neutrality that we are learning from. We have to become more and more neutral at each point. And it's kind of like, I was talking to another friend of mine, spiritual person, about this this week, and the fact that you don't realize it. Sometimes, particularly with what's going on in the world right now, there are so many things that's the normalcy is completely gone. There are so many things that's so egregiously wrong with the world, and that individuals and collectives and nations and communities are doing that also can irate you and cause you to have a lot of judgment. And you need to come back into yourself and realize, why am I getting angry and judging these individuals or these institutions? Why don't I have more compassion and non-attachment to the outcome? Because if it's a karmic lesson that the planet is learning, the fact that they are bringing this to the surface, they are actually being an agent to accelerate the karma. They are the agitators. And I can't be angry at them, because they are permitting a greater social and collective lesson to be learned. And you know, I don't want to get caught in it. I don't want to be victimized by it, but I need to understand from that standpoint that I have to have more compassion and more. I'm not saying that you should don't project hate toward anyone. Don't project. You could disagree with something or disagree with people or with behavior. You could disagree with a lot of things without it being, or you could be disappointed without it being a judgment. You realize that the soul or these collective or individual have a lot to learn. And in time, they will learn the lesson. And whatever God has in plan for them, the blessed field has for them, the blessed field will take care of it. It's not my responsibility to go and try to teach them a lesson and try to change their mind and try to argue with them. First of all, you're not going to win because people are so polarized by what their belief system. You're not going to win. Move about your own personal salvation and your own personal, because whatever is happening outside, like Lord Buddha said during the channeling of the Risai, you're not going to be able to control it. It's going to feel like you're overstimulated and you're over agitated. So you need to go back into how do I find a way to find my own inner peace in the middle of this turbulence. And when I'm doing an intercession, it should come from that place of peace. It should, because that's the only way that the healing can actually happen. Because after all, what you're doing, it's the peace, the serenity, and the neutrality and liberation that I know that I'm passing on to someone else. And if I don't have it, I can't pass it. If I'm in agitation, I can't share it. What I'm going to share is toxicity. I have to fundamentally make sure that I am at rest, I am at peace, I am in stillness, and I am so at rest that every part of my being and consciousness has completely surrendered into the blessed field. And when I am in that state, I can then project the love, the compassion, and the mercy that I know to someone else. With great power comes great responsibility. We need to remember that, because the teaching that we're going to be covering for the next few months can alter quite a bit. And we need to make sure that it's coming from love, it's coming from the heart, it's coming from compassion, it's coming from mercy. Now, I had shared with you that the short version, reminder now. By the way, any questions about this? Any comments? Okay. So the short version is that you may have in your life somebody that comes to you or that you feel is agitated or is performing in some way emotionally, being triggered or spinning, and you may be in a different headspace. And sometimes what you need to do, and again, you get the agreement first. May I do a healing for you? May I send you some vibration, some frequency? May I do, and the person could be sitting next to you, or the person could be remote. They could be calling you on the phone. They could be on Skype, on Zoom. It doesn't matter. Distance is not relevant. And so what you will do is that you will do the 12 universal breath. You take one, but the breath is a shortcut for the total field. Okay? You take one breath from the core of the earth, exiting outside of your head, and exhale into source. Then there's going to be a pause, the retention of the breath. And then you inhale in source. Go into the core of the earth, and then you do 12 of those breaths. That's already 2. You do another 10. And then once it's done, very quickly, it should take you no more than a minute and a half at the most. The torsion field is done. It's done. That's my quick version. If I'm driving, I'm warming up the car, if I need to do it, sometimes I'm walking, sometimes I'm in the subway, that's my quick version. And it's done. Right? And at that point, you have your eyes are closed. Even if the person, you're putting your hand on the person, like you're doing it physically to touching them. And this particular technique is one sentence. Once you are now in alignment and you can feel the torsion field and you can feel the guardian and you can feel the rest of God, the stillness of God, the mercy of God, the compassion of God, you can feel that you're so unburdened and you're in complete rest. Whatever chaos exists on the outside, you're somewhere else. You're in the quantum field. You're in direct connection with infinity times infinity. Once that happens, you can begin to with your eyes closed, name the person, first name, last name, and think of where they are energetically in your torsion field. Where are they around you? Are they above you? Are they in front of you? Are they to the left, to the right, behind you? Where are they? And wherever they are, when you find them, when you sense them energetically, their energetic signature, focus on it. Keep the connection there. Think about where you sense them. Keep the connection. And then simply go back to your liberation, your peace, your serenity. And then we say the sentence with meaning, with true purpose and with true intention. May the peace, while you're still focusing on where they are, may the peace, the serenity, the neutrality, and the liberation that I know pass on to you. And when you say pass on to you, it's a trigger. The projection happened. Your axis moves, shifts from you, and it passes on to the person. It passes on to them. Now, if you have them on the phone, you're not going to repeat this aloud. All of this is happening silently inside of you. But when the projection occurs and energetically you see it moving from you going into someone else, the moment that happens, you will hear them sighing and saying, oh my God, the distress that I have is completely gone. Everything is gone. And if you have your hands on them, and that kind of healing, if you're doing and touching somebody, it's not even 5 minutes. The whole thing takes no more than 5 minutes. And the results are immediate and sometimes shocking to the person, because they'll turn around and look at you because the amelioration is like a snap of a finger. Now it's an act of compassion. It's an act of mercy. It's an act of love. And it's a projection. But it doesn't mean because I project my torsion field that the torsion field is not with me. It means that I am entangled energetically or physically with the person I am trying to help. That the liberation that I know is now connected to them like two quantum particles that are entangled with each other. This one is in a higher state, that one is a lower state, they get entangled, that one is at the same state. Okay? And both of them are resonating. I'm not empty. Because as a matter of fact, no one in the multiverse is ever separated from the quantum field. We think we are, but we are not. So when I do this, I'm reaffirming, I'm reminding the person that feels disconnected and separated. You are not separated. Come back. Come home. come home, you're not separated. And then they're automatically brought back into alignment. And then you need to follow what the field is telling you, how long you should maintain the contact, and the connection and the projection. Sometimes it might be a few minutes, it might be a little bit longer. It doesn't matter. You just maintain the contact for as long as it's necessary. And then once the contact is maintained and you feel it's finished, and just if they're on the phone, say, okay, the healing is done. It is done. It's complete. And that's it. But for a moment there, you brought them back into alignment, and you have temporarily disconnected them to the chaos. And and by the way, if they were being agitated by Archon or by the Demiurge or whatever, or Satan, all of that will be cast out, because neutrality is 0-point energy, and the fact that you're connecting them back to it, it will cast out all interference. All of it will go away. And I need to remind you again, it is not you doing the healing. And this is the second part of the trap of this technology. And this is why Lord Melchizedek took so long to give me permission to teach it. Since 2008, I've known this, I've been trying in some ways to teach it, but there was a lot of ego work, negative ego work, inner work, shadow work, that had to do with our own, because if you get it in your head, it's your power, and you're the one that did this, you're here for a hard fall. It's not your power, because you don't have any power. What you can do is that you can remember your connection to the blessed field, which is what the breath does, and then you can entrain somebody else and bring them into the same alignment. That's it. Who does the healing and when? That's not up to you. The blessed field or the quantum field will take care of it. It will take care of it completely. You need to keep your ego in check and know that I don't have any power. And more importantly, it should feel to you when you're doing this that you're blinking your eyelid. It should be so effortless that to you, particularly after the breath and the release and the connection and you asking source, you're not making any effort. It's not you by your will and your power commanding, be gone this and remove that and that. It's none of that. It is the most effortless, the most natural, the easiest thing that you would have ever done. You're not pushing energy, you're not thinking of a symbol, you're not trying to shift things and move things and carry load. None of that is happening. You are aligned, you connect to the blessed field, and you project the alignment that you know, you project it onto them. And then you let the blessed field take care of the rest. Hands off. Now you may get some images, sometimes you get insights, sometimes you see things. A lot of time when you're doing this kind of healing, you may see negative things because the attachments that are connected to the individual you're trying to uplift into the higher frequency that feel separated will be disconnected. And when it's disconnected, particularly when they're in the same room with you, that attachment is a parasite. It's going to try to seek another individual to attach to, because they can't exist without having a host. But what's going to happen is that when they move toward you, the attachments, you will see them moving toward you, but when they try to attach to you, they will pass to you like you were made of smoke. because you're now 0 point energy. Now, I have to tell you, the first few times it's going to be jarring, because when you see something that's lots of teeth or some sort of like alien looking kind of thing that's moving toward you, or some sort of weird shape, smoky thing that's moving toward you, you might have the instinct to go, ah. If you are in fear, it will connect. You need to understand, I am in the rest of God. Nothing can touch me. Through and through, you need to know this in every part. And if you are truly, when you did the 12th breath, if you are truly in the alignment that I'm talking about, you will know it in every part of your consciousness. I am in the rest of God and nothing can touch me. I am in complete neutrality, and literally the energy will go and will pass through you and will go somewhere else trying to seek. Because if the energy is charged, as let's say -5, you're 0 point now. -5 need +5. Now the person you're trying to help was +5. You're bringing them into 0 point. Then they need to find another +5. And it's not you, because you're in 0 point. Whatever you see, it's going to be inconsequential to you, because it's not going to touch you. It will not be able to penetrate. I remember, for all the years I've been doing healing, I mean for a long time now, 2008, I remember only twice where something connected to me, and it was because I was judging the person I was doing the healing for. I'm like, why is she not learning this? It is taking so long. She's not getting this. Why is she being so stubborn? Blah, blah. As I'm judging her, this is why I talked about judgment before. Whatever was in her attached to me. And all of a sudden, I started coughing uncontrollably. And I had to go to take a drink of water, blah, blah, blah. Stop the healing. And basically, after the client left, I had to, no, I'm sorry. I continued the healing, and when the client left, I had to go and do a lot of cleansing to get that stuff out of me, because it jumped on me, because I was judging. But only twice, and again, it's my fault, because I was. So what am I saying? I'm saying you stand fast in the rest, the serenity, and the peace of God that you know. You stand fast in it, no matter what happened. You don't veer off, you don't move from it, you stand fast in what you know. Any questions, any comments?
Yes, Pierre, thank you. I have a question about setting an intention. Let us say someone comes to you and you know what it is that is distressing them. Could be a physical problem, or maybe just an issue in their lives that has disconnected them from their peace and serenity. Do you have that in mind when you start the universal breath, the torsion field, or that you then pass on to them, or just get them into that peace, the blessed field, and let them handle it?
Okay, let's be honest. If somebody comes to you and tell you, I have a physical problem, or for that matter, energetically, I feel under attack, you cannot erase that knowledge out of your head. It's there.
Mm.
Okay? So whatever you do afterward, it's still going to be there. But as best as you can, don't let that become an obstacle, because sometimes from our own human perspective, we think that the level of difficulty that they are telling us that they're experiencing, oh my God, this is so big, I don't think I can do this. The moment you do this, you're going to try to do the healing yourself. Nothing is impossible to infinity times infinity. Think about it for a second. A force that's a multiverse. There's nothing that we little human beings are experiencing that cannot be solved by it.
And also, I imagine that whatever they might be aware of and have passed on to you may not be the root issue. There may be something deeper. And if you are thinking only of that surface problem or disconnection, you may be missing.
Right. Which is the reason why you need to be neutral while you're doing it.
Right. And so not focused on any particular
You're not focusing on particular.
concern. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You're not focusing on a particular cause, because they could tell you, for example, a story and telling you it's this cause. In my experience, things are not linear. Things are not linear. What you think is one cause could be, I've spoken about the fan effect before. It could be 5, 6 different things. That's that's resulting in this one distress that they have at this moment. And it's not up to me to solve. All I'm doing is being the conduit. I've shared this with you before. This is the best analogy I can use to describe it. I am a train conductor, and I just bring people on board the train. I take it into the station where God is, and I push them onto the platform, and I let God take care of everything. It's not me. I'm not doing it. I'm the vehicle through which the connection is made.
Is it a problem that for the moment that you're engaged in sharing your peace, serenity, and liberation with someone, that they are impacted and feel that release themselves, but that it doesn't, they don't maintain that. And so the problem seems not to be really restored to normalcy.
Again, this is where their karma comes in, Janice. All you can do is for the moment they come to you and bring them into the field. How the field is going to teach them, how long it's going to take, there's no time and space. It's not up to you to decide, to determine. It's going to, sometimes when somebody comes in, when I bring them into the platform, I can sense the field saying they need to return 2 more times. Sometime, okay, that's the best way to put this. When I get no feedback when I'm doing healing, all the healing went in, I have to report nothing. I don't have a debriefing moment after the healing is done. And in most cases, the person at the time received everything directly from source. I have nothing to do with it after that. There's no homework after that. Many times there's homework because the person is not completely reconciled. There's things that they need to do, or they are not willing to accept, because truly the blessed field at that moment can solve the problem like this. Who is holding the healing back? The person you're trying to help, because they have shame and undeservedness. That's the karma. And therefore, at the moment they'll have an amelioration, or they'll have an insight. Let's say there are 5 things, they might see 1 thing and they're like, oh my God, I need to resolve this. But the other 4 things, they have to figure out a way to resolve as well, so that the permanent solution can happen. But what happened is that what you and I are doing, what we're all doing, is that I can take people multiple times into the blessed field until they begin to remember that they too are capable of doing this on their own. They don't need me anymore. Years ago, I used to say this all the time, and I mean it even now. I'm going to teach you how to replace me, so that you can empower yourself. So the key to this is for you to understand that the person the permanent solution and the permanent this, the permanent that is, it can happen in God's time. Again, I'm not controlling it. I'm going to let God and and all of the immense knowledge and wisdom and energetic miraculous thing that the blessed field can do, figure it out. And the least attach you all to the outcome, the quicker and the faster the solution set will drop. And it's more difficult when you're doing healing for somebody that you know, friends or family member, because you think you know what the problem is and how it should be solved.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pierre, I'm glad you reminded us that we can just do the 12 breaths, because I always thought that you had to, with the garden eye lines of light, you have to go through the whole thing and then you do what you need to do. But as you were saying now, um, it's you can do the quicker version with the 12 breaths, and then once you feel that energy, then you can do what you need to do at that time.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And it's not what's the word I want to use? Because of the amount of time the amount of work that we've done with the torsion field so far, the 12 breath will become a shortcut. It's a quick refresher. Sometimes I do the torsion field in the morning, and then somebody comes to ask me to help them in the afternoon, just to kind of like quickly refresh myself. It's like a splash of water in my face. I do the 12 breath,
I see. Okay.
and then I connect and I do what I need to do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, let's do the practice very quickly, and then we'll talk about the begun time and space after that. I'll put some music on and we'll do the practice. Okay? Give me a minute. Take a very deep and slow breath. And as you inhale and exhale deeply and slowly, allow the universal life force that permeates everything to enter into your lungs. Keep breathing deeply and slowly. And take a breath from the core of the earth, moving through the bottom of your feet, passing through your core, exiting outside of your head, and going into source. As you exhale completely, releasing all attachments and all fears. Let go. Take a second breath now from source. And let this energy move down into the top of your head, passing through your core, exiting at the bottom of your feet, and going into the core of the earth. Release, let go. Exhale completely and surrender. Take another breath from the core of the earth. Let this breath move through the bottom of your feet, passing through your core, exiting outside of your head, and going into the top, into source, as you exhale and surrender completely and let go. Take a full breath from source, and let this breath cascade down into the top of your head, passing through your core, exiting at the bottom of your feet, and going through the core of the earth, and creating all around you. A release, a surrender, a letting go. Empty yourself out. Take another breath from the core of the earth, the fifth breath. Let it move through the bottom of your feet, passing through your core, exiting outside of your head, and going into source. Exhale deeply. It is not your responsibility to fix, repair, or do anything. Let go. Let the sixth breath begin in source, and let it move down as you inhale deeply into the top of your head, passing through your core, exiting at the bottom of your feet, and going into the core of the earth. As you exhale completely, and empty yourself out. The seventh breath begins in the core of the earth. As you inhale deeply, let it move through the bottom of your feet, passing through your core, exiting outside of your head, and going to the core of the earth. Releasing, letting go, surrender everything. The eighth breath begins into the soles, and as you inhale deeply, let it drop into the top of your head, passing through your core, exiting at the bottom of your feet, and going into the core of the earth. While creating all around you a release, a surrender. Take the ninth breath from the core of the earth. Let this breath move through the bottom of your feet, passing through your core, exiting outside of your head, and going into the source. As you surrender, releasing everything, all burden, all fears, let go. Take another breath from source and let it begin to drop into the top of your head, passing through your core, dropping into the bottom of your feet, and going into the core of the earth. Surrender everything. Let go. The axis of the bottom of your feet extends, and now attracting the energy of the 11th breath, moving through the bottom of your feet, rising through your core, passing through your head, exiting outside and going into source. Exhale completely and slowly surrender and let go. Take a final breath from source and let this breath cascade down into the top of your head. Passing into the top of your head, moving through your core, exiting at the bottom of your feet, and going into the core of the earth. As you exhale completely and surrender all attachments, all fears, and all control. I release all attachments, fears, and control. And I surrender into the great emptiness and endless luminosity. I am in the rest and the stillness of God. Think of the individual you're trying to intercede for. Locate them in your torsion field around you. Once you locate where they are, keep your inner gaze fixed on that location. May the peace, the serenity, the neutrality, and the liberation that I know pass on to you. Hosanna into the highest. Hosanna into the highest. Hosanna into the highest. Take a very deep and slow breath. And whenever you feel ready, you can open your eyes.
If you wanted to intercede or assist, let us say, more importantly, a family group, and you, as I was just at that during your meditation, there were 3 people in this family group, and they each seemed to have a different place in my field.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be correct, or would you see it as a unit and only?
No, yeah, that's most likely because your energetic relationship with them and your entanglement with them is a different location. My recommendation to each one of them at a time.
Oh,
Or the beyond time and space, once we learn it, you can do it all at once, all of them.
okay. Hmm.
Okay? It takes longer this way because you have to do one person at a time.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay? However, it doesn't mean that the healing, because it's kind of complicated for you to keep your gaze in 3 locations at the same time.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So, but the entrainment that you're broadcasting can reach them. Um, if in this instance you're saying that you wanna reach um, let's say for example a very specific family, and you have a location, if they're all in the same geographical place, you can think of the geographical place where they are.
Okay.
That might be easy. If they're all in the same place,
Oh,
you
okay.
will see it in one location.
Right, right.
You're thinking of them energetically, they all have different karma, you will see them separated.
Thank you.
I wanted to also remind you that you can actually send that healing to yourself. Because if you happen to be distressed, either because you're facing some sort of physical difficulty or emotional or energetic difficulty at the moment, that exists in the pain body. The pain body is very different than the body that you exist in when you're in alignment with the rod of Melchizedek with the torsion field. It's very different and very separated. All you have to do is that when you go into the alignment and the torsion field is created after the 12 breath, you ask, instead of calling the name of the person, you said, I wanna transmit this healing to my pain body. The part of me that's having difficulty with XYZ, it will show up in your field. And then at that point, and you then entrain it by saying, again, with love and compassion, may the peace, the serenity, and the liberation that I know pass on to you, and you project it. This is a very powerful way to do self-healing.
Wow. Because I was thinking about my eyes.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Trying to get the
So
pressure.
you separate from the condition that you're facing, okay? However, what that condition is, you separate yourself from it, because the part of you that's in alignment doesn't have any burden. You
Mhm.
transmit that frequency into it.
Because I was thinking, once you have established this connection, you should be already healing yourself. But that makes sense what you say, that that part of you that is in whatever
Distress, yes.
stress, yes, is not the part that is aligned with,
Yes.
oh my gosh, how many different pain bodies are there?
A hell of a lot, yes.
Yes, because I can think of several different situations I'd like to lump into one, but probably not, right?
Yes, 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 absolutely. And then you can address them. And you can entrain them. It may not be solved all at once, but you can entrain. If you keep doing this, it will entrain it, accelerate whatever transformation and reconciliation need to happen. It will accelerate it.
Interesting. Another question that I had is if we hadn't done the torsion field that day yet, you were doing this, let's say early in the morning, whatever, healing for somebody or for self. If you just did the torsion field and then moved that peace, serenity, and liberation for once you're in
If you
that.
just did the torsion field, you don't need to do the breath.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was my
Yeah,
question.
you don't need to do the breath. You just see the torsion field. You're already in alignment. The peace, the serenity is there. As long when you energetically check, if you're connected. Sometime when I'm really blessed, I wake up in the morning. The whole torsion field's there.
I don't know whether this is Serapine, but every time I have a bite to eat and I take time to connect to God, I enter into that space with, uh, may the, the, well, another thought has just gone out of my head, deep and profound reverence
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and gratitude for this food.
Yes.
I feel the torsion field builds right then.
Yep. It's not an illusion. It's there. And the moment it's there, it will remain for hours because there's an afterglow. And all you have, as long as you don't have any negative thought, any fearful thought, it's there. You don't need to recreate it. Let's say right after that, let's say an hour later, somebody asks you to do a connection for them. You don't need to recreate it. It's there. So many times when my torsion field is there, when I'm very blessed, sometimes I wake up in the morning, it's there. Other time they are not. It's a different story.
Yes.
Depending on because we're living in a very busy we're empath there, so all kinds of things, and you dream, you pick up all kinds of stuff, and I wake up, it's not there, okay, and I have to do work to get to it. But there are times when I wake up, it's there, and I don't have, I start doing the torsion because I'm a Capricorn. I'm like I'm gonna muscle through it. I'm gonna do it anyway. And I get to the fourth or fifth one, and they keep telling me, stop doing it. It's already there.
What if somebody doesn't know anything about the torsion field, but just thinks that they could do these universal breaths and then do a healing? That doesn't work, right? Because you have to have the training and the basis of the
They
torsion.
have they have to do the work that we're doing to do it safely.
Oh,
If they don't have the training that we have in all the years since 2008, 2009 of emotional, social, and spiritual intelligence, and they try to do this, they're gonna fall in the ego trap that we talked about earlier.
uh, and take on karma.
Take on karma and think that they have all this power and their ego is going to be inflated, and they're going to fall into darkness. They're going to come, and when you fall in that kind of darkness, you can no longer ascend in this lifetime.
Oh, wow.
You got to wait till the next lifetime.
As you've said in the past, there are many paths to
Yes.
ascension. If somebody is on another path and has tried to do the healing for someone in this way, would that,
Well, if they are on another path, they are not okay. They should follow their path and the healing method that exists in that path.
oh, okay, so this isn't for all paths. It's just our path.
It's all path. And if somebody wants to do it, you need to learn it the right way.
Yeah, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? It's so simple and it's extremely complicated to do. Because to get that simple, you have to let go of a lot of things.
And that's why you can't put it in a book.
It's very hard to. How long did it take me to explain this to you? I've been trying to explain this since 2009.
Right. In other words, I don't believe, as I recall, that you mentioned the torsion field mechanics in your book, right?
I mentioned it very briefly, but I can't explain it in detail.
Right, because you can't just read it and
Understand it. It's
right,
that whole saying you have to know there to go there.
and you have to practice it.
You have to practice it. You have to practice it. And it's not the torsion field. Neutrality is not just the mechanic of the energy. It's also the transformation of your emotion, the spiritual intelligence, the growth, the evolution that's supposed to happen within you. So that you're more compassionate, more tolerant. The higher emotion has to be installed in you.
Yes.
And that will take time to blossom. This is why it's called a cultivation.
Uh-huh.
It takes time. It's like planting a garden.
And
Any of you who are gardener know how long it takes to grow anything.
sometimes you have to pull some weeds.
Yes, and you know the just putting the seed in the ground, the nurturing, the right temperature, the fertilizer, the type of soil, all the millions of things that you have to worry about, so that you'll have a fruitful harvest. So it's that kind of thing. It's a cultivation. You have to transform within and be righteous. What I mean by righteous, you be a better person, a higher version of you, not an ego-driven personal agenda and I have the power, I can do whatever the hell I want. But somebody that's deeply spiritual and morally aligned. There are paths toward ascension that are accidental. You meander, hit your head against walls over multiple incarnations before you finally get there. We're all going to get there at some point. But there are paths that are more accelerated than others. This is an accelerated path. It requires a commitment in time for you to do that inner work. There are other paths where people are doing medicine, for example, where it's whether it is ayahuasca ceremony or other kind of plant medicine or other kind of medicine. It's not just plant, there are synthesized medicine that people do to enhance spiritual abilities and connection. But I'm not against those paths, but they are not my path. They are not my path.
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's talk for a moment about the beyond time and space, okay? For the remaining of the time. It is not equal to what we just did, but it is similar. The same alignment that we feel when we do the 12 breath is going to be created with the torsion field. Once a torsion field is created, and while we're doing the torsion field, we're going to repeat at every guardian, beyond time and space, to remind the guardian and the part of ourselves that exists in the 4D, 5D, 6D, and so on, all the way back to God, that when I utter the word out loud and say beyond time and space and extend my hand, at the command of beyond time and space, my entire antakarana is moving outward, and I'm going to project it energetically in the middle of the space where my gaze, where I'm looking at. Okay, I'm going to gaze at a location and I'm projecting outside. It's the measure of God. I'm striking the rod of Melchizedek in the middle of the space, and I'm letting my antakarana, the same way I was in entanglement, I'm going to project it outside and be in entanglement with the entire volume of space external to me. And I'm doing it outwardly. This is theurgy. It's ceremonial magic, but it's divine magic. I don't need to draw a sigil on the floor with name of God, with candles and incense. I don't need to do any of that stuff. It should feel like I'm sneezing. Okay? I'm going to just say, so the torsion field, for now, we're changing the practice of the torsion field, and as I'm going to do it with you in a few minutes, you will see that at every guardian we're putting in begone time and space. And when we do it energetically like that, you will feel energetically something completely different is taking place. So that as I now utter, because ceremonial magic, it's the action of the magician and the word that you speak. In the beginning was the word, and the word was God. It's the word that you speak that manifests a torsion field or a measure of God. So as I said, begone time and space, and I project it out. And I'm in my head, I sense energetically it's projected in the middle of this room, and I'm holding it. And as I'm holding it, I see the column from the core of Gaia all the way into the throne room of God. And at that point, I can sense the guardian now coming in to reaffirm in that location the boundaries of this volume that is being created. And as the guardians are coming in, first guardian coming in, counter-rotating, going the core of the earth all the way into the throne of God. As the guardian is moving, I'm following with the same kind of breath that I did before. And then I exhale, and then there's a pause. From source, it goes down into the core of the earth, and it starts again. And I do 12 of those until it's all complete. Why would I want to do this? Let's say, for example, as the world is changing so rapidly, you're going to be presented with a situation where there's a group of people from where you are that are in distress. It could be a building, a natural phenomena, fire, hurricane, earthquake, flood. It could be all kinds of things that is coming, and you need to ask for an exception to be created around you as a bubble that triggers that let consciousness, your consciousness and your intercession, to remove that location and the people who are in your care outside of the chaos that may be happening around you. Now, it doesn't have to be natural phenomena. It could be emotional state that people are in. People are in fear. Okay? Now, somebody was pushing the point in the other class that when you're doing this, what kind of intention after the torsion field gets created completely, what kind of intention you put in? Particularly for the fact that if you have a group of people, let's say 100 people, 200 people, 500 people, they all have their karma. What is the collective karma? How do you know what kind of intention to put in? Let me just say this here. The fact that you projected the peace, the serenity, and the liberation that you know outside, around these people, around that location, it's enough to remove them out of the chaos that they're in. And if they were in fear, they will automatically come down and realize that the fear is gone. if they were under psychic attack, they will immediately feel that they are come down. If they were under some kind of spiritual, everything will be banished. Moreover, if you do need to put an intention, you need to trust intuitively when you do the projection what the field is trying to tell you to do. If the field said, for example, peace to all souls in this environment, that's the intention you feel comes to your consciousness, project it. If nothing comes but the very creation of the torsion field is enough to ameliorate the whole thing and give people a different perspective and make them realize, wait a minute, I don't need to react. There's nothing for me to be afraid of. Does that make any sense?
I guess the question that I would have is, when if you're being guided, you will know.
Yes.
Whether just extending that peace, liberation, and serenity and neutrality is enough, right? So what do you, when you extend your arm,
Yes.
how do you know where to imagine it going? Do you see a geographic area? Just imagine, or in.
You will know it.
Uh, okay.
You will know it. This is okay. This is something that's beyond a glass case, that's a break in case of emergency.
Mm.
Okay? You're not going to go out there and just snap your finger and do this left and right. In fact, don't do this in front of people. Because human beings are but what's going to happen is that when you do this, the earth around you will begin to tilt and shake. I'm not joking. I've done this multiple times, even online as I'm doing this, the earth around me begin to tilt and people who are online are feeling it as well. The earth will begin to tilt. And as it's tilting, and this is not a joke, this is the real deal. This is the actual rod of Melchizedek. And when you hold it and you're doing this, what happens is that people see demonstration of power. And what happened? They will follow you like the Pied Piper and they will drop their power. They will give you their power. You become their guru and their teacher and they give you completely their power. And this is a trap. Because anybody that gives you their power will do no work and will expect you to do all the miracles and blow fairy dust onto them. And you become burdened with their karma. It will derail your growth, your true, unique ascension. It will derail it completely. So, when again, as I said, I will do this in front of people if it's an emergency, but for the most part, I will not do it. And when people ask me, so what did you do? I've had so many people follow me. What did you do? What was that? I could feel it. Everything around me had just changed. What did you do? Nothing. Don't worry about it. It's okay. And I walk away. Pretend it's nothing. Because if you go, yeah, this is power, this is the Lord of Melchizedek, it's an ego trap, it's a test. Remember I talked about in my two books, the first test of ascension, for our ascension is a power increase. That will be a test of the power. More importantly, because the antakarana that you're holding has in it the intention of peace, serenity, neutrality, and liberation. So when you project it, that intention already goes out in the middle of the torsion field. And you will know it because you instinctively you will know I need to project this because of X, Y. Now we're gonna practice it over the next few weeks, the next few months, okay? We're gonna practice it, let's say in your apartment, in your home. You're gonna practice it to learn how to do this. Because the world is changing so rapidly, we're gonna need, and as a matter of fact, when the galactic equator crossing is happening and the tweeters of darkness are gonna be, we're gonna need to do this collectively. So we're gonna need to do this and practice it and know how to do it. But be aware that you can't do it in front of people because it's gonna trap your ego easily. You may say, "Oh, it's not gonna happen to me because I'm a character." Trust me on that one.
And Pierre, when we are practicing this, do we uh, what is the point of our focus then? Do we
In the
choose?
center of your apartment.
But I mean, do we choose a target? I don't want to say a target, but
Yes, let's say in your living room, you just be gone time and space, and you create in the middle of your living room.
oh, I see. So it can just be not. It can be within our own space, and
Yes, yes, yes.
oh, okay,
You
okay.
practice the projection, and you learn how to do it. Right? And you follow with your breath, and you learn how to do it, etc. It's going to take a lot of practice to be able to become proficient at this. And that's the reason we're doing the torsion field in a very different way and putting in the begone time and space at every dimension. Because when you manifest it correctly, all of the guardians and your part of yourself that exists in those dimensions move with the antakarana together to hold that in place.
Okay. And I think we talked about this last week. But when we're doing the torsion field and saying this beyond time and space at each guardian, we're not necessarily saying it out loud and extending our arm. We're saying it silently and imagining.
During the torsion field meditation, correct. You
Okay.
say it out loud when you're trying to physically do the theurgy, physically manifest it outside.
And it needs to be an actual
It
spoken.
needs to be spoken word.
Okay. Yeah.
Any other questions or comment? All right, let's take a 5-minute break and then we'll do the closing meditation. Take a very deep and slow breath. And as you inhale and exhale deeply and slowly, allow the universal life force that permeates everything to enter into your lungs. Keep breathing deeply and slowly. And let your soul and your awareness drop in the middle of your chest. Please forgive me. I love you. And I let go. Please forgive me. I love you. And I let go. Please forgive me. I love you. And I let go. Let your mind and your heart sync with each other. And notice what you noticed. And the guardian alliance of light approach you, offering to gift you their shields of light and protection. And a band of neutrality. If you are ready to accept this gift at this time, answer affirmatively. And let the energy of the first guardian begin in the core of the earth, counter-rotating, moving through the bottom of my feet, passing through my core, exiting outside of my head, and going into the top of the fourth dimensional body while creating all around me a torsion field of neutrality. Be gone, time and space. The axis at the top of my head extends, and it attracts now the energy of the second guardian, coming in now from the top of the fifth dimensional body, rotating clockwise, passing through the top of my head, moving through my core, and exiting into the bottom of my feet and the core of the earth, and creating all around me. Until you feel of neutrality. Be gone, time and space. The axis at the bottom of my feet extends, and it attracts now the energy of the third guardian, coming in from the core of the earth, counter-rotating, moving through the bottom of my feet, passing through my core, exiting outside of my head, and going into the top of the sixth dimensional body, creating all around me with total and field of neutrality. The axis at the top of my head. Be gone, time and space. The axis at the top of my head extends, and it attracts now the energy of the fourth guardian, coming in from the top of the seventh dimensional body, coming in from source and rotating clockwise, passing in through the top of my head, moving through my core, exiting at the bottom of my feet, and going into the core of the earth while creating all around me a total and field of neutrality. Be gone, time and space. The axis at the bottom of your feet extends and it attracts now the energy of the fifth guardian, coming in from source, rotating clockwise, passing through the bottom of my feet, moving through my core, exiting outside of my head and going into the top of the eighth dimensional body, while creating all around me a torsion field of neutrality. Be gone, time and space. The axis at the top of my head extends and it attracts now the energy of the sixth guardian, coming in from source while rotating clockwise, dropping into the top of the ninth dimensional body. Dropping down into the top of my head, moving through my core, exiting at the bottom of my feet, and going into the core of the earth, while creating all around me a torsion field of neutrality. Be gone, time and space. The axis at the bottom of my feet extends and it attracts now the energy of the seventh guardian, coming in from the core of the earth, counter-rotating, moving through the bottom of my feet, passing through my core, exiting outside of my head, and going into the top of the 10th dimensional body, while creating all around me a torsion field of neutrality. Be gone, time and space. The axis at the top of my head extends and it attracts now the energy of the eighth guardian, coming in from source while rotating clockwise, dropping into the top of the 11th dimensional body, passing through the top of my head, moving through my core, exiting at the bottom of my feet, and going into the core of the earth while creating all around me The Torsion field of neutrality. Be gone, time and space. The axis at the bottom of my feet extends and it attracts now the energy of the ninth guardian coming in from source, rotating clockwise, passing through the bottom of my feet, moving through my core, exiting outside of my head, and going into the top of the 12-dimensional body while creating all around me. The Torsion field of neutrality. Be gone, time and space. The axis at the top of my head extends and it attracts now the energy of the 10th guardian coming in from source, rotating clockwise, dropping into the top of the 13th dimensional body, moving through the top of my head, passing through my core, exiting at the bottom of my feet and going into the core of the earth while creating all around me. The Torsion field of neutrality. Be gone, time and space. The axis at the bottom of my feet extends and it attracts now the energy of the 11th guardian coming in from the core of the earth, counter-rotating, moving through the bottom of my feet, passing through my core, exiting outside of my head, and going into the top of the 14th dimensional body, and creating all around me. The Torsion field of neutrality. Be gone, time and space. The axis at the top of my head extends and it attracts now the energy of the 12th guardian, coming in from source while rotating clockwise, dropping into the top of the 15th dimensional body, passing through my core, dropping into the bottom of my feet and into the core of the earth, while creating all around me. The torsion field of neutrality. Be gone, time and space. I stand in spiritual rectitude and verticality, aligned with one truth. I am one with everything. Hosanna into the highest. Hosanna into the highest. Hosanna into the highest. Take a very deep and slow breath. And whenever you feel ready, You can open your eyes.
Thank
Thank you, Pierre. Thank you. It was meaningful at every level.
you.
Yes, it was very potent and very powerful, very big. Yes. Um, thank you all for listening. Like, subscribe, and thank you for your support on Patreon. Love you all, family, and I'll talk to you next week. Blessings. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Love you.
Bye.